No
So
prep.
just hit stop when you're done.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Hey guys, welcome to the Austin Report podcast. Today we have Brayden Henderson. Welcome to the podcast. How's your day
Thank
going?
you. Day's going good. I had a real estate investing meeting earlier, so I was networking with a lot of cool people at this Mexican restaurant. It was really good food, really good networking. So far, day's been going good. How about you?
Yeah, no, likewise, just been really busy, just working on a lot of cool projects, just meeting a lot of cool people. Seems like I'm doing podcasts almost every day now, which which is actually cool because I love doing podcasts. People say I should keep doing podcasts, so let's see how it goes and
I mean,
we'll
yeah.
go with the flow. So I wanted to ask you first, I know this is the Austin Report podcast. When did you come to Austin in the first place?
Yeah, so I originally moved to Austin middle of last August. I actually moved out here to live with my dad and learn entrepreneurship and kind of be mentored and just kind of learn how to run my own business, own my own business. I knew I wanted more, and I was
Yeah.
in a small town, so came out to Austin and I found everything that I've wanted.
Got it. And what about entrepreneurship really attracted you in a way where you're like, I'm going to do this? Because you could have, you know, go to college, get a job and things like that. But why entrepreneurship?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think entrepreneurship really called my name because of the freedom that it allows. Like it's a couple years of grinding, it's a couple years of building your company up. But once you get to the point where it's running, you have a great team in place, you can kind of just appoint a CEO and you can go live your life. And me personally, I have big dreams, big aspirations. So I saw entrepreneurship as the way to achieve them.
Got it, got it. And what about entrepreneurship itself really attracts you? Is it the fact that you kind of get that freedom and things like that compared to a traditional, when you're going to college, getting a job? Like what about entrepreneurship would you say it's like something that you really enjoy?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely the freedom. It's the ability to set your own calendar, set your own working days, rather than just a traditional 9 to 5 where you work Monday through Friday. I could work Monday through Sunday one week, and I could take 3 days off the next week. It's just the ability to have your own, like own your own calendar. I just love that part about it.
So basically being your own boss,
Yeah,
owning your own destiny.
yeah,
So I talked to Austin Netzley yesterday, and he mentioned that entrepreneurship is always kind of portrayed in a way, oh, where it's like good, you have like freedom and you have all this, but you also have times where it might not work out and things like that.
of
I know
course.
you're kind of early in your entrepreneurship career. Have you ever faced any kind of traversity or anything like that where it's like, wow, like maybe I should go into more of the traditional route? Have you kind of faced that yet or not yet?
I have faced that. Of course, everything gets hard. You're an entrepreneur, you're running your own business, you're making your money by getting other people to spend it with you. So that's hard.
Yeah.
And I faced a lot of trials and tribulations, but I mean, I just have a vision of having complete financial and location freedom.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is really the only moat to get you there, unless I'm going to be 60 and get it. But I want to get it when I'm young. So I see entrepreneurship as the only way. And I really just, whenever I hit those walls, I kind of just try to brute force my way through them, whether that's working a 16-hour day, whether that's taking a break and getting my mind off things. It's just, I try to do what's needed to, reach the next level.
Got it. And has there been a point recently where you're just like I'm slammed and I can't get something done? Because I know we're gonna talk about all the companies and things like that you're starting. But has there been a point recently where you faced that or not really?
Yeah, I will say, yes, there was. It was about a month or two ago, and I was just really like I was struggling mentally really bad, honestly, with
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, with just making my own way. And I think for me, whenever I'm struggling really bad, I like to take a step back. I like to remove myself from the environment and just clear my head. So I actually went back. I visited my mom. I visited my little sister, and it just reset my mental. And then I came back. I was twice as locked in. I was focused, and it was that mental reset that I
Yeah.
really needed.
Austin Netzley said the same thing. He said that sometimes people just work too hard. That hustle culture that you see is not always true. Just working, 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 and just not taking any breaks.
Yeah,
Because you need that mental reset for yourself. Because when you have that mental reset, then you come back stronger as a person, right?
of course.
So
Yeah.
no, that's great. So now kind of shifting a little bit back to Austin itself. I want to know, I know you're new to Austin. I've lived in Austin for about a year now. What are your thoughts about the city itself?
I would say the city itself is beautiful. Like I love how there's the lake in the middle of the city. Like that's awesome. I'm a big outdoors person. I like to go out. I like to walk. I have an e-bike. I like to ride
Oh,
it
is
around
it?
the lake. So I love the city itself, and I really love the people that are inside of it. I feel like everyone's building something. Like you can just be at a coffee shop and there's 10 people there working with you, building their own company. You can
Yeah,
go meet people. You can introduce yourself to people. Just
yeah.
the networking there or here in Austin is really just insane. It's like no other.
It's like no other. I mean, a lot of people say the same thing. It's because it's not the biggest city like compared to Houston, like Dallas.
Of
It's
course.
it's a, it's a nice city where people can just all meet up together. Everyone has that mentality of let's help each other grow. Let's
Yeah.
work together kind of mentality. Have you found that in Austin networking has been really easy because of the fact that I know you mentioned you went to a real estate event earlier. Have
Yeah.
you kind of found that like in Austin?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of networking events here. Like every single
Yeah,
day
there is.
something's going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess like it's kind of just picking and choosing where you want to go. Like whenever I'm somewhere, networking comes easy. You know, you can talk with people, introduce yourself, learn their story. And with me being young, people are really eager to talk to me. People want to know my story. They want to help me out. So
Yeah.
it's just really easy for me coming from that young age. And I just come from like I just have a certain level of curiosity when I speak with people. And I feel like that really lets them open up and just kind of give me the sauce, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you need it, and you're young. I mean, considering
Exactly.
how young you are, I mean, you're already kind of ahead of a lot of people that are trying to do this networking, trying to build an entrepreneurship career. Is this something that like you see yourself kind of doing for a long time, like just staying in this entrepreneurship route?
Of course, yeah. I want to make my money in entrepreneurship and then eventually I want to get into investing. I really like the concept of buying and flipping a business, so I want to get into the levels of doing that. Right now, I'm doing a lot of marketing for home service companies. I'm learning a lot about the industry,
Yeah,
and eventually, I want to buy up a home service company and completely flip it just using what I already know. So
got it,
it's a
got it.
big goal of mine, but
That
right now in the entrepreneurship.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're young. I mean, you need to build up that connections. You need to build up that capital. So, I completely understand that. Kind of going back to Austin again is like, what would you say? Like, you've been here for a year, right? You would
Yeah,
say.
a year.
What are some things about Austin that I know we mentioned about things that you like, but what don't you like about Austin?
What don't I like
Yeah,
about Austin? Gosh,
I
that's
have to throw that question out, because I want to be very neutral.
of course,
In,
yeah,
in
no.
the,
I would say gosh, that's a hard question because I love
yeah,
Austin.
yeah.
But I would say something that I don't like about Austin would be
Traffic.
maybe traffic, yeah, but also I don't mind it. You know, we both have
Yeah,
Teslas, so it just drives us in the traffic anyways.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Gosh, I don't know. I don't know what I would pinpoint that I don't like about Austin. I mean, overall, it's just a great city. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say there's anything like necessarily that I don't like about it. You know, of course, you have like little nuanced things here and there, but I mean, just thinking on a broad scale, I don't think there's anything that I really don't like about it.
Yeah. Would you have you been to like Silicon Valley and things like that before or not really?
I have not, no.
Okay.
So I come from a small town. My
Yeah.
family was military, so we were bouncing around from small town to small town. This is really the first big city that I've ever lived in.
Really.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of going back to that, how have you like adapted to that change? Because you coming from a small town where you probably knew everyone
Yep.
to coming to a bigger I'm not saying this is the biggest city, but a
Yeah.
bigger city to where it's like it's different, right? Like you don't know everyone.
Of course.
How do you feel about that, right? How did you like adapt to that?
Yeah. I think the biggest way to that I adapted was just I took the mindset of meeting anybody possible. So like if I see somebody that I see online or I've seen them on Instagram or something before,
Mm,
I just walk up and I meet them. I introduce myself. I have conversation with them.
mm,
And I think that Austin just allowed me to dream bigger. Back in my small town, it was a lot of people that didn't have big ambitions. They wanted to go the normal traditional college route, then get the
yeah.
9 to 5, then retire at 60. And it was like everybody there. But in Austin, everyone wants to build something. So it's
Yes.
like, I feel like once I came here, it really opened my mind to think bigger, to think even the goals that I had in my small town, they're small compared to the goals that people have here. So
Yeah.
just getting to network and meet people, I just am dreaming bigger now.
Yeah. And would you say like you moving to Austin has been a good decision because anything could have happened. You could have stayed, in your small town. Kind of I guess it would be more in your comfort zone. So this is kind of getting out of your comfort zone. So what do you think about the importance of getting out of your comfort zone?
I think it's super important. Just a little backstory. I knew I was going to move to Austin after high school.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, but I was going to wait until I graduated. And then I found myself between my junior and senior year, so about a year ago at this exact time, and I was thinking, I was like, gosh, I have all these big dreams. I see so many people accomplishing them at a young age. Why not me?
Yeah.
So it was kind of me stepping out of my comfort zone. It was hard. It was hard to tell my family. It was hard to tell my friends. It was hard to walk away from physical school. I still did online school. I still
Oh, okay.
graduated, but it was
Yeah.
hard to walk away from physical school and move out here my junior year. So
Yeah.
I think it was honestly the best decision I've ever made. I
Yeah.
think that it's opened so many doors, given me so many connections, and I was able to start my business that I've always wanted to start here. So
Yeah.
it's to answer your question, I think it was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
No, that's fantastic. I know I have a question that I've asked in the previous podcast. I think this will be a perfect question for you.
Okay.
Do you think a college degree is worth it?
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a loaded
yeah,
question
that is
there.
a loaded question, but I'm asking you because of the fact that you decided to take this route
Of
rather
course.
than the college route. So what do you think? Do you think college is just like a piece of paper, or do you think that you don't really even need a college? You can just go to like boot camps and things like that, or learn online and things like that. So what do you think?
Yeah, I would say college is worth it if you're going to college for something you need a degree for. So if
Okay.
you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an attorney, if you want to be, something that you need a degree for, then
Yeah.
sure, go to college, get your degree, and go do your career.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, I would never, ever, ever advise anybody to go to business school.
Yeah.
Like, I know
There's
you you interviewed Chandler the other day. One
yeah,
of his big things is why would you go to business school to learn from people who have never ran a business?
exactly.
So I take that same standpoint. It's like I don't want to go to business school and learn from a professor. I want to connect with people. I want to be mentored by people. I want to learn from people who are already doing what I want to do.
Yeah. No,
So,
no, that's a valid answer. I mean, it just depends on your perspective, your path, where you're trying to get ahead in life.
of
And
course.
I've not seen a lot of entrepreneurs that went to college that are successful actually dropped out
Yeah,
because of the
exactly.
fact that they're like, what am I doing this for? Like,
Exactly.
do I even need this, right? To accomplish like what I want to accomplish, right?
Of course. Yeah. Both my parents, they both went to college and they both dropped out.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, my dad, he went to business school at the College of Charleston and he
Yeah.
actually ended up dropping out just because he realized he was learning business from somebody who had never ran a business before.
Yeah.
Same thing with my mom. She went to college. I don't know exactly what for, but she ended up dropping out and she does nothing related to the degree that she went for. So it's just, I mean, if you're going to go to college and you're going to get a degree and you're going to go be a doctor, then sure. But
Yeah.
if you want to be an entrepreneur, I think you'll learn way more in the 4 years that you would be at college just starting and failing.
Yeah. I guess that's one question that I was asking in the previous podcast as well. Every failure that you have is a one step closer to success,
Of course.
right? So I want to ask you like what's like one of the biggest failures that you've had so far in your young career so far? You might not have had a lot, but have you had any like kind of failures that you might have think something significant?
Yeah, I'll tell a story. When I was 16, I started a pressure washing company, right?
Did you at 16 years old?
I did. So I was knocking doors. I had the worst pressure washer you could buy at the store. I was genuinely just out there, just ramming my head through the wall trying to make money without working a job, right?
Yeah.
So I was running this pressure washing company, and I would say the failure is when I realized that it wasn't easy. Like for me, I always thought I was going to be an entrepreneur. I always thought I was going to run my own business. But then when I started my first business, I really realized how hard it was. Like,
Yeah.
you have to go knock on doors to get clients. I would
Yeah.
have to get doors slammed in my face. I would have to be working outside in the heat.
Yeah.
So, and I ended up stopping that business and not making as much money as I would want to. And I felt
Yeah.
really, really defeated. But that kind of led me to the marketing, which is where I'm at now. I help a lot of pressure washers bring more leads in because I realized that I kind of took that failure. I realized why I failed because I didn't want to be out there. I didn't want to put in the sweat hours. And then I took that to my marketing agency and I put the sweat hours in. And then I worked with pressure washing companies to bring them more leads. So it was kind of
Wow.
like one failure led into the next business, which now is being successful.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And was the pressure washer your first business that you did?
Yeah, that was the first ever business I had ran. I did like some other stuff on the side, but actually like, you know, put my nose down and said I'm gonna run a business. It was the pressure washing company.
Got it, got it. And like what motivated like was it just kind of your family that motivated you, or were you just like, "Hey man, I'm going to start this pressure washing company right now?"
It was actually, so I was working at McDonald's at the time. I was making $15 an hour
Yeah.
and I realized that I mean, I was just trading my time for money. It's
Yeah.
like I show up for an hour, I get paid $15. I do my
Yeah.
8-hour shift, I just get my wage and I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to work on my own time. I wanted to be able to make more money than the minimum
Yeah.
wage. I wanted more. So that's when I quit my McDonald's job. I used all my money from my first check and I bought a pressure washer and I did it. It was
No way.
just, yeah, I mean, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I just slowly saw myself veering away from that. And I knew I would keep on going down that route if I didn't just put my stick in the mud and say, I'm becoming an entrepreneur now. I started that pressure washing business, have never worked a job again.
Insane.
Well, I'll
And
say I've never worked a 9 to 5 job again. I did a sales job, but
yeah.
that's a little different than the
It's
normal.
it's different.
Yeah,
So, yeah, because it's like not everyone realizes at a young age, right? Because one thing I notice is like people are just too comfortable. They just want to be kind of in their bubble, right? And they don't want to take risks. When
of
you
course.
take that risk, it's like you're kind of exposing yourself. But something that Austin Netzley said was, if you do it when you're young, you just it's exponential, right? By
Of
the
course.
time that you're like 30, 40, or something like that, like imagine how many like failures and things like that that you could have done, but you learn from that where it goes in a compounding effect to
Exactly.
become successful, right?
Of
So
course.
so is that, would you say like that's kind of like what you want to do, is you want to at this age, like you want to keep failing, you want to keep failing to get to being successful?
Of course, yeah. I would say when you fail, you should fail forward. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't count any failure as like a, oh, I'm done, I failed. I would say I failed in this, now I'm pivoting to the next thing and I'm going to succeed in that. And with starting so young, I'm okay with failing multiple times because I know it's all just going to lead me towards success.
Yeah.
And everybody that I've spoken to that's older than me, that is in a position that I want to be in, they say that they wish they started when they were my age. So
Everyone says that.
yeah, exactly. So that's where I just take the mindset. It's like, okay, if these guys who are successful, who are my idols, wish they started at my age, then that means I just have to keep on going and eventually I'll be exactly where they are or not further.
Got it, got it. I guess before talking, like I know you mentioned about your business slightly. Before talking about your business itself, have like with your age right now, I mean, you're still learning. Do you have any like current mentors right now that are helping you, that are guiding you in a way, or are you just kind of using other tools like online resources and things like that?
Yeah, I will say two people that have really guided me a lot was my dad, Gary Henderson.
Yeah.
Henderson, that's my dad. He used to run a marketing agency when we lived in Myrtle Beach.
Oh,
Yeah, and he has worked with some pretty big names. He was pretty successful with that, and he's been guiding me a lot through the marketing agency side of
yeah.
things. And then another name that I'll mention is honestly Chandler.
Chandler.
I used to be a salesman for him, and indirectly he mentored me a lot. Like he never directly mentored me, but
Yeah.
just things that he would say, just how he went about his business, and then of course him running that successful business. I realized what he's done and what he's built, and kind of just taken some analogies and some like sayings, I guess, and really taking them to heart and putting them to action. So I would say my dad and also Chandler.
No, I mean, especially since you're young, I think keeping that mentorship, throughout your journey is going to be really important, because there's obviously people that are way more experienced than you,
Of
and
course.
to help you learn and to help you grow and things like that. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about before your business itself, like why did you decide to join like, Chandler itself? Like how did that happen?
Yeah, so I knew to run a business, I needed to know how to sell
Yeah,
because, you want to do anything, you have to sell it. You have
you
to
have to
make
sell
money
it.
somehow. Exactly. Yeah.
Life
So,
is sales. Like if you think about it, anything that you do is sales.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the way that I started working for Chandler is he was having his office opening party,
Okay.
and I went to it and I met him and I was like, "Chandler, I want an opportunity. I want to sell for you." And Chandler, I guess, saw something in me, saw my grit, saw my determination, and he walked me back and I spoke with the hiring manager right then and there. So I spoke with him, had a great conversation with him. I was doing door-to-door sales at the time, and
Ah, okay,
and
yeah.
yeah, he loved that. So he got my number, he ended up reaching back out, and then I just went into that room as a sponge. Like I knew everybody in that room was further ahead than me. So I was just like, what can I learn? What can I take away from everybody in here so
Yeah.
that I can become 1% better every day? But I mean, the way that I got into that room, the way that I got into that job was just showing up to his office opening party, walking directly up to him, and I was like, Chandler, I want to sell for you.
And then it just made it happen.
Yeah, it
I
just
think
went on.
I think the biggest thing is just do it, right? Just being committed to it. I
Of
think you
course.
showed your confidence in a way where it's like, you know what? Like he really wants it. If you really want to do something, you will do it. And
Exactly.
you wanted to learn sales.
Yeah, and he could have said no. He could have brushed me off, but I know the more confidence that I ask him with, the more likely he is to say yes. So rather than going up, Chandler, can I please sell for you? I went up, I was like, Chandler, I want to sell for you.
You
And I,
want to sell. See, that's the
exactly.
difference, right? That's the difference. It's the tonality of how you said it,
Of
right?
course, yeah. It's when you show up with confidence, people want to do business with you. They trust you more. They want to help you out because they see that you're hungry for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was very thankful for that opportunity. It brought me to where I am today. So
No, that's great. So what's like one kind of like sales kind of technique that you learned while you were working at selfpublishing.com that you use till now, would you say?
I would say, and this was on the wall everywhere there, it was volume times skill equals results. So if you don't have a lot of skill, you can do a ton of volume and you're still going to get results. If you have
That's
equal volume to equal skills, you're going to get great results. But if you don't have any skill, which I didn't when I first started, I
yeah.
did so much volume. I was always the first one in, the last one out. I did so much volume that it was unreasonable for me not to get results. So to answer your question, volume times skill equals
Wow,
results.
that's powerful. You guys heard it there first. That's so powerful.
Yeah,
I think that's like the formula for sales, and
exactly.
you just apply that throughout. You're gonna be successful.
Of course.
So now that you realize like you're working for Chandler, what kind of made it be like now I'm gonna do my own thing? Like when was that kind of pivot point? I guess.
Yeah,
And
so it's kind of a story. So I was doing DM setting for him. So I was in the Instagram DMs, messaging people back and forth,
oh, you
setting
were
up
okay.
calls. Yeah, so I was doing that, and I realized with where AI was moving that my entire job could be automated. I was at risk.
Yeah.
So for better or for worse, I actually built the system that automated my entire job. So I built the AI agent. It was conversing in the DMs. It was working 24/7. It was performing better than me, and it got to a point where I didn't make commission on my sales anymore because the AI agent made them all. And then that's
Oh,
where I'm sitting there. I'm like, what do I do here? Like, I'm not making commission on my sales because the AI agent's handling them.
yeah.
I'm not to the point where I'm becoming a closer. So
Yeah.
I either wait it out for a year or I take that leap and I become an entrepreneur. And that's when I decided that I needed to become an entrepreneur. I built a system that could generate hundreds and thousands of revenue. So why not go do it for myself?
Yeah. And that's when I guess we can talk about your businesses.
Of
That's the
course.
kind of the inspiration of your business. So what do you like in your business, like what do you specifically do now?
Yeah, so I run ads for home service businesses. It started with AI because when I first quit, I was like, okay, these home service businesses, they need AI. No one's doing AI for them. And then when I came to the market with that, they didn't want it. They were like, I
Yeah.
don't want AI in my business. We don't want that. So then it was a lot of failing, a lot of pivots. But now I found Facebook ads to be very helpful for home service businesses. I mean, they love it. It brings them leads, it grows their business, and it gives them a predictable lead flow.
Yeah. And I guess like why specifically home service businesses? Was that always like your avatar that you were kind of going towards? You could have chosen different industries, but like why specifically home services?
I would say home service businesses for a couple reasons.
Yeah.
Number one is that I felt the struggle of not having a consistent lead flow in my home service business when I did pressure
Oh
washing.
yes, that links to the the
Of
whole pressure
course.
wash.
Yeah, so I would say that's a reason.
Yeah.
Another reason for home service was they're easy to reach. I mean, you call their phone, most of the time the owner's going to answer.
Yeah.
If I was targeting a bigger company and I call their phone, it's the receptionist. If I was
Yeah.
targeting dentist office, it's receptionist.
Yeah.
But when I call a home service business, that owner is answering and I can pitch him right then and there.
Yeah.
So I found success doing cold SMS and cold calling, just reaching out directly to the business owners.
Really?
Yeah, and I tried a couple different niches. Like I tried the med spas, I tried dentists, I tried the Instagram coaches,
Ah,
and
okay.
I found out that home service was the easiest to reach and the easiest to sell to. So that's why I decided on them.
Got it, got it. So then I guess in your company itself, right now you help with small businesses grow with and not I guess service-based businesses,
Yeah.
sorry. Grow with ads and stuff like that. Is that something that like on average like do you work with a lot of businesses now already or is this like something that you're trying to scale up and things like that?
Yeah, so right now I have a solid client list. I'm working with 7 people
Nice.
and really just trying to build it up, trying to either get more clients or make more money off my current clients.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the two things. You either get more customers or you make more off your current customers.
Yeah.
So I'm working with 7 people. The first guy that I worked with, it was before I had any results. He took a chance on me.
Oh, he just took a
And
chance on you.
exactly, yeah. So I came to him and I was like, hey, I don't have any results. I can't show you anything that says I'm going to do a good job. But if you just give me 10% of whatever I make you, we'll call it even. I don't have any
Mm,
results. I can't demand some big retainer, but just 10% of whatever I make you and we'll call it even. That client now is paying me more than any of my retainer clients just because I scaled his business for him.
yeah.
So, I mean, I'd say one of the things that's helped me grow so quickly is just growing with my clients rather than growing out of my clients.
Got it. And you showed your value and your client trusts you. I think that's one of the most important things in business is trust, right?
Of course.
You said that you were going to do something and you delivered.
Of course.
And your client trusts you now, and now your client is one of your biggest client
Of
bigger
course.
clients,
And
right?
he's brought me many more clients because of the results that I've gotten him. He'll shout my name from the stage if he needs to. Like, he's perfect.
Yeah, and that's another powerful thing is referrals.
Of course. Yeah.
Because of the fact that you've done such a good job that now other people are going to know about what you do and things like that. Got
Yeah,
it, got
one of
it.
my clients actually saw another ad from another client I was running, reached out to that client and asked, "Hey, who's running your ads?" And I ended up landing him just from work that I've put out there. So, I mean, doing good work will be worth its weight in gold.
Got it, got it. So for ads itself, I still have to come across your ad,
Yeah,
but I know some other people have said like they've seen your ads and things like that. Like, do
yeah.
you, in terms of like people trying to learn and kind of get into ads, is this something that is like it's very complicated, or do you think that anyone can do it?
I would say that kind of both sides of it. So anyone can do it, but I
Yeah,
believe anyone can do anything.
yeah,
I think if you put your mind to something, you can
yeah,
do it. So I would say anyone can do it. As far as complications, I would say it's not the easiest thing in the world, but
yeah,
it's not the hardest thing in the world.
yeah.
You know, you put your mind to it, you can figure it out. And it took me probably, I would say 2 months to get,
2 months.
yeah, 2 months to get really good at it. And now that I'm good at it, I get all my clients results. So once you put those months in, once you put those days in, you can get results with it really easily.
It's called the high skill, right? And when you have that high skill and you know it, then other people are gonna pay you money to do it.
Of
Where
course.
did you where did you learn this like high skill? Was this like something that you went online and you did that, or how did you learn this?
Yeah, so kind of a unique method that I used is I would give AI transcripts of YouTube videos and I would tell it to give me quizzes or to ask me questions on
Ah,
the YouTube videos. So I would sit
interesting.
there, I would watch the YouTube video, then I would give AI a transcript and say, quiz me on this video. And that's how I learned really quickly. I mean, I was just consuming so much knowledge every single day that I kind of had no choice but to learn.
Yeah. While the younger generation are, consuming some irrelevant videos. You're out there, training your AI model and having quizzes with your AI model, which
Of
and
course.
that shows the level of how much you want to grow and things like that, right? Not
Yeah,
not everyone has that, right? Otherwise, every 18-year-old would be
of
have some
course.
kind of
Yeah.
business and things like that. So
Yeah, I have a motto for that. It's to do something that most people won't, or to do something that most people don't. You have to be willing to do things that most people won't.
yeah,
So if you want to achieve something big, then you have to do something that not a lot of people are willing to do,
yeah.
and that's put in those
I
hours.
I have a quote in my room. It
Yeah,
says that the if you want to be the top 1%, you have to do something that 99% of people won't do.
I love
And
that.
and I have that, and I ever since I was in Austin, I bought that and I put that in my wall, and I look at that and I'm like, and anytime that sometimes you feel down, but when you look at that, you're like, this is where I'm trying to get towards.
Of
This is what I'm
course,
trying to do. This is what I'm trying to do. And it kind of just motivates you right away, because otherwise everyone would be that 1%, right?
of course. Yeah, of
Because it's
course.
just they just don't want to put in the work, or they don't have that mentality, or they come up with an excuse saying like, I am going to do it, or they wait for the perfect moment.
Yeah, waiting for the perfect moment, it kills a lot of people because they'll sit there and they'll plan their business, they'll make their business name, they'll make their logo.
Yeah, everything LLC.
Exactly, yeah, they'll do the most for their business except for go get a client.
Yeah,
And that's where people will come to me now from like my hometown. They'll be like, "Brayden, how can I get into business? How can I learn?" I'll say, "Go hit the phones, cold call, set up a sales meeting and close a client and learn everything after that."
yeah,
Once you make your money, that's when you start learning. You don't learn everything about the business before you have a client.
yeah.
You go get the client and then reverse engineer and learn after that.
Yeah, because you will make mistakes. I mean, you're not gonna
Exactly.
have the perfect, thing. I guess a story. I don't know if you have a story for this or not, but like maybe when you were getting your first client, were you kind of nervous and things like that, because you might have not known the exact process and systems.
Yeah, of course. So whenever I got that first guy to agree to the 10% deal,
Yeah.
I kind of had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
But he knew I had no idea what I was
Okay.
doing
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
So it made it a little easier, but still, I mean, there was a lot of pressure on me. Like
Yeah.
I remember spending hours looking at the ad library, watching other people's pressure washing ads, and I had to go film with him soon. So
Ah.
all I had was my iPhone camera. So I go there, I put together a document of all the stuff that I learned from the Meta Ads library, and I go and film the ads, and then I edit them all by myself, edit them all up, publish the campaign, and it flopped. It didn't do good at all. So at that point, I was like, all right, I put in a ton of hours, it didn't work. How can we go from here? So I took all the ads down, grabbed all the film, re-edited it, republished it better, and then it worked. So I would say that, I mean, it's just trial and error. It's like you
Yeah.
got to fail, but you have to fail forward.
Yeah. Like you said, right? I mean, not every and not every ads works, right? You have to
Exactly.
you have to tweak different things,
Yeah.
different ways that the ads are presented, budget, and things like that.
Of course, yeah, different angles. I remember we weren't bringing him in barely any leads. I mean, we were to the point where he almost wanted to fire me. He was like, "Brayden, we can't be keep on doing this. And I was like, all right, Kevin, just give me one more chance. Like, let me
Yeah.
come out and film your job. Give me one more chance. And we did it. And then his campaign started ripping. And I mean, I'm so glad that he gave me that extra chance because I don't know where I would be if he didn't. So,
Yeah, I think sometimes I just think it's that opportunity. Even as business owners itself, I feel like you have to give people opportunity. You have to give people second chances,
of
third
course.
chances, because you can't always get everything right in the first like angle, right? That
Yeah.
first try.
And I
So
think a big thing too as a business owner is you have to ask for that opportunity. Like he could have came to me and he's like, Brayden, these ads aren't working. I'm like, sorry, Kevin. Yeah, they're not working. And just throwing my hands up and just whatever.
and giving up.
Exactly. But instead I said, Kevin, give me one more chance for them to work. Give me one more chance. And he did. And because I asked for it, I got it. And then
Yeah.
he's been my client to this day still. So
Yeah. I remember what Chandler said this. He was like, at your lowest day, you can't quit.
no,
Like but he's like this. If you're feeling good or if it's like a normal day, then you can quit. But at your lowest day, you can't quit.
of course, no. When you feel like quitting, that's when you have to go. When you feel like you're on
Yeah.
top of the world, that's when you can take a day off. That's when you can say, all right, laptop's closed for today. I'm taking a mental health day. But
Yeah.
if you're on your bottom, that's when you just have to work. You have to work through it. You have to run through that wall. Like there's
Yeah.
no other answer.
There's no other answer to that. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. So that's like your main business, right? That you're working on. Are you working on any other businesses?
Yeah, so me and that first client, we're about to go into a Christmas lights business, which will be really interesting. Yeah, so I'll handle the sales, marketing, and operations side of it, and he'll handle the crew and the inventory. And
Christmas lights are absolute. The profit margins on Christmas lights are insane.
oh yeah, I think it worked out to we're selling them at $8 to $12 per foot, and
Yeah.
the inventory, labor, and all overhead breaks down to about $3 per foot. So that's what like 70% profit margin.
60-70% profit margin for Christmas. I
Exactly.
had a buddy that did Christmas lights as well,
Really.
and he
Is he
made a
still
lot of
doing
money.
them?
Yeah, he's still doing them. He's like
Exactly.
he was around your age, like I think like 19, 20.
Nice.
These young hustlers, you know.
Yeah, and
So,
once you get the right team in place, you have the predictable leads coming in through the ads, you know
yeah,
how to close them. It's kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't say hands off, but you can kind of take a step back and just let the business run and it'll keep on cash flowing, which that's what I really love. I'm really attracted to those type of businesses where I can put minimal people in place, but people who are really important and then let it cash flow and just kind of be hands off and move on to the next while it still
ROI.
cash flows. Exactly. Yeah.
It's all about the ROI. It's not like one of the most important things is you don't want to be in the business. Like you want to
No,
be out of the business, right?
no.
You want to let that business be automated.
Exactly. And I feel like in today's day and age, people see it as almost like a flex of working like 80-hour weeks or working
Oh,
100-hour
yeah.
weeks. And I'm just like, dude, it's the opposite. You want to be working 10-hour weeks and
Yeah.
still making triple what you would have been doing 80-hour weeks.
Yeah,
So it's
but
like,
but I feel like society just kind of reward like it's like it's a kind of that expectation. Like if you work 80 hours a week, yeah, this guy's hustling, like he's making a lot of money.
yeah,
But the guy that's not working, oh, this guy's lazy, like he doesn't want to do it, and he's not taking it seriously and things like that. I feel like our society is just kind of wired in that way of when you work hard, they think that you're doing good, but you're
exactly.
probably burnt out. Probably you don't want to be in that business.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people, they're making a lot of money, but they're just in the business, which means
exactly.
that they're working 80 hours a week, 70, 80 hours a week. They can't do anything. They can't get out.
Exactly. And I think when you first start, I think it's important. You have to put those, 70, 80, 100-hour weeks
Hmm.
even in. You have to do the work when you first start.
Yeah.
But as you get to a point where you're hiring team, you're getting results, you have enough clients, that's when you start to really take the mindset of like, all right, how can I stop working this much? How can I hire the right people to where I only have to work 10 hours a week and I can allocate those other 30 hours to the next venture that's going to cash flow as well.
Yeah. No, I get it. So cool. Now that you've talked about your business, I know your business involves AI. So I want to talk
Yeah.
to you a little bit about AI and like the future of what we're thinking. So, in terms of AI, like when did you get into AI, like in the first place? Just AI itself.
AI itself, I would say I couldn't give you an exact timeline, but
Yeah.
obviously I used to cheat on my homework with ChatGPT, so I guess
I guess that's the younger generation. We never had that when I was in college and high
yeah,
school, right? So
yeah. But I mean, my first introduction to AI was ChatGPT. Giving it my homework assignments, having it write essays for me, and I mean that's when I really saw the power of AI.
yeah,
And from there, I mean, I think every new week a new AI model's coming out, the
yeah,
next big thing's coming out, so it
yeah.
kind of just evolves and evolves and evolves, and you're just moving with the trend at that point.
Got it. What AI like LLM do you use the most right now?
Right now I use Claude mainly,
Yeah.
like almost exclusively. The only subscription I have the max, whatever the
Yeah.
$200
Yeah,
subscription is with Claude.
$200. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have
20x, I think, or something
yeah,
like that.
exactly. 20x usage. I use Claude Code to fulfill on some of my clients, like websites and stuff. I have Claude hooked up to my Meta ads, so it's constantly analyzing and improving my ads. Claude's like the central brain of my business right now.
What do you think makes Claude different from like, ChatGPT and things like that? Because Claude kind of like, in my opinion, like ChatGPT was always that main one that people used to go to.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Claude Anthropic just kind of came out of nowhere, and they're just building that thing. So what makes Claude different from all these LLMs? Would you say?
I would just say the capability that Claude has. I think it's so
Yeah.
unique. Like we have Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, and Claude Code. On Claude Code, you can build whole websites, you can build apps, you can build softwares. Claude Cowork, you can schedule tasks for it to do. You can teach it a task and how to do it. And then Chat, I think it just like it can build PDFs, it
Yeah.
can make you business plans, it can do so good. So I think just the versatility that Claude provides that ChatGPT just never really did. I think it's starting to catch up now, but
Kind of.
when people shifted away from Chat
Yeah.
GPT to Claude, I think it's just because of the versatility of Claude.
Yeah, I mean, likewise, I was using chat a lot, and then I was like,
Exactly.
it felt very limited because you were try. I mean, they had their agentic mode and stuff, but it was just not the same.
Mm-mm,
As
not at
soon as you
all.
go to Claude, you have Cowork, and then you have Claude Code. Like, what else do you need? Like, it
Exactly.
automates everything for you, builds you a website in a second, it builds you anything that you want in a second. Automate, like pretty much automated. And I don't.
Exactly.
I think this came out recently where you can like map your entire flow now with like it'll record it and then it'll replicate that exact
Yes.
recording.
Yes.
That's like actually what I'm using for my newsletters.
Really?
So for my Austin report thing, what I'm doing is that I'm mapping out all the different tasks and actions that I do in Claude Cowork. I think that feature is Cowork if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And what it does is that every single so my newsletters comes out Sunday.
Yeah.
Every single Saturday, it'll take the most liked videos on my Instagram, the most commented videos on my Instagram,
Yeah.
it will transport that into like a newsletter text, whichever are the most viral. Then I have my Claude cowork take that and put that into Beehive,
Oh yeah.
every single one of them without even me even thinking, and then go publish it on at 9 o'clock. I do 9:01 because you don't want to do it at 9
Of
a.m.
course. Yeah.
You do it at 9:01, and then yeah, so
Yeah.
you don't even have to think.
No, and another thing about that is if you wanted to post a weekly newsletter
Yeah.
like, 3 years ago, either you would have to put in hours of work or you would have to hire somebody to do that.
Yeah, like a VA or something like that, right?
Exactly. And now all you need is a cloud subscription and it'll do what a team of 2 to 3 people used to be able to do. And now it's
Yeah,
just Claude.
yeah, and that's something that I wanted to talk to you about was, just the future of humanity and things like that in terms of like companies. Like
Yeah.
what do you see like, AI going in the next 10 years? Because Elon Musk said that, I don't know if you heard about this, was in 2035 we probably won't even have to work anymore.
Yeah, I've heard about that, like universal basic
Yeah,
income and
universal
stuff.
basic income, yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting question too. And I met somebody at an event one time that was really big into AI, and I
Yeah.
asked him that question. I was like, "Where do you see like work going? Where do you see the world going with
Yeah.
AI?" And his response was interesting. It was, if you would have told somebody 50 years ago that you could become a millionaire from videoing yourself on this thing called an iPhone and posting it to this thing called YouTube, they would look at you like you're crazy. They would be
Yeah.
like, What's an iPhone? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And I think we're in that same position is that everyone's trying to hypothesize where AI is going to go, where it's going to bring the world. But the truth is, nobody knows. I mean, AI is going to create whole new billion-dollar careers. It's going to create new industries. It's just going to, like, the advancements of it, I don't think we can even comprehend right now until it actually happens and we're 50 years in the future.
Yeah. An interesting conversation that I had with someone was, I think AI will come to a point where it's like, let's say you're trying to get a food or something like that. AI can replicate exactly the type of food that you want based off what you're thinking in your mind, and provide you that food. Because
Yeah.
obviously in the future you're gonna have like the Tesla Optimus robots and things like
Yep.
that. It's gonna provide you that. But then my thinking is, if that's the norm, then are we going to be like a desensitized society of when you can just get whatever you want because of the fact that AI is there and in the palm of your fingers, you can
Yeah.
get whatever you want. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that AI is going to enable us to do a lot of things really quick and use less brain power. I
Yeah.
also think that AI is going to make tasks really, really easy and make jobs really easy. I think that what we'll see become popular in the next few years is social clubs. Like I think that seeing people in person, having that human connection, I think the stock in that will just go through the roof because people are gonna be so used to things at their fingertips and so used to AI and so used to quick thinking that they just want a down to earth human conversation just like this one we're having now.
No. That's the way to do it. Another question that I thought of, like, just like with AI and with advancement of AI, is how, like, what do you think is gonna happen to all these, like, companies, like, with all the layoffs, like all these software engineers and things like that? Because I come from a software engineering background, so I can
Yeah,
see I used to code everything, but
of
now it's
course.
like you don't even have to be a coder.
Yeah.
You could just be they call it vibe coding, right?
Yep.
You don't even
Vibe
have to do
coding.
that. So what do you think about that in that action? Is like you don't really need anyone anymore. Like, to
Exactly.
be
No.
honest.
I think that, I mean, it's a little scary, but at the same time, I mean, Elon Musk says it all the time, universal based income.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to get to a point where a job that used to be done by a team of 10 is done by one person with an AI. And then I think the next point is that a team of 10 is now just an AI agent speaking with other AI agents.
Yeah.
So when we reach that point, I think that, I mean, just the economy in general has to take a real step back and realize, like, where are we going?
Are we
Because
gonna go into deflation, you think, because of the
exactly.
fact that, you know?
No, I honestly don't know. I think that the dollars could tank. I also think that the dollars could go through the roof because people are making less money. They're printing less money because less money's in circulation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really it's beyond what I can think of currently. Like some financial analysts in DC are probably thinking about that right now.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I would see universal based income being a real possibility.
Yeah, because my thinking is like, if we don't have to do anything, like, what are we gonna do? Are we going to fulfill our passions of what we're trying to do and things like that? But even that passion could be easily replicated with AI. So
Yeah.
it's just something that I'm thinking about in the future, like maybe like 5, 10 years. Might be crazy,
Yeah.
to think about it in that action.
No, I don't know because I mean, recently Oracle laid off like what 22,000 people,
Yeah.
something insane. So like I don't know what happens to those people now. Like do they get their income from the government? Do they have to go find another job? Like where do 22,000 people go and find jobs tomorrow? Like
With AI taking a
exactly.
lot of these things.
Exactly. No, they were probably high income earners. They were in a specialized, skilled position.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't really exist because AI is there. So it's like, even if they do go get another job, that job's probably going to be replaced by AI in 5 years anyways. So it's like, it's an unknown and it's kind of scary. And I think it's where us as entrepreneurs really thrive because
Exactly.
we're writing our own path. And AI is not going to come out and replace me. I'm Brayden. They can't replace me. So like I think as an entrepreneur, we just keep forward and we use the AI as tools. But as an employee, I think it's kind of panic mode right
It
now.
is absolute panic mode. I've seen a lot of employees.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
don't
"What am I
know
gonna do?"
exactly. They're kind of just trying to make their money now. But you ask them, hey, what's your plan in 10 years from now? Like, what's your career path? They're like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
Because you don't know, because it's gonna be replaced. And this was
exactly.
crazy to think about that like 10 years ago, because everyone was set with their career that they had. But AI just kind of came out of nowhere and just absolutely, like, just taking everyone's jobs and things like that, right?
Yeah, another thing too that's interesting is that a lot of these LLMs have came out and said they're actually losing money on the consumer side. So like Claude, the
Yeah.
$200 subscription, that costs them way more than $200, but with how they're funded, they're eating the cost right now to get people's workflows relying on Claude before
Yeah.
they up the credit price. Basically saying like, "Hey, we'll give you 20x usage for $200 now for the next couple years. Once you integrate your whole workflow into it, they're going to double, triple that price, and just it's just going to be like the AI companies are just going to be like the dominators, honestly."
They're gonna be, yeah, I can see Anthropic and, OpenAI being kind of just the leaders. I guess
Exactly.
whenever they IPO and stuff, they're gonna
You're going to go
absolutely
through the
go crazy.
roof.
They're gonna go through the roof. I guess a question that, I talk about a lot in the Austin report is
Yeah.
data centers.
Hmm.
And I get a lot of, like, controversy on this stuff because of the fact that, like, people don't like data centers due to all the environmental issues and things like that, but it's also important for all of this AI infrastructure that we're building. So I just want to hear your thoughts of, what do you think about, like, data center? And they're building data center. They're building a lot of data. They're building it in Taylor, building it in Hutto. They're building it everywhere, like south of Austin and things like that.
Yeah.
Milam County is building the OpenAI data center. So what are your thoughts about data center?
Honestly, I've heard a lot of like controversial opinions on them.
Yeah.
Like they take a ton of
Yeah.
water, they're ruining the
Yeah.
economy, they're taking too much power. I personally haven't done too much research on them,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't say I have an opinion on either or. But I mean, as far as AI development, data centers are a necessity. I mean, we
Yeah.
need data centers to develop through AI. So I think that data centers are inevitable. There's going to be data centers everywhere. It's kind of just, I
Oh,
mean, it's either people are going to have a problem with them or they're not. Either way, it's going to happen. So that's my
yeah.
opinion on it.
Because like I've done a lot of research for the Austin report. Like people have done protests with data centers. Oh, stop this, stop this. And
Yeah.
I think San Marcos was one of the first cities to actually like stop it as
Oh,
well. It would
wow.
be like you can't have data centers here, right?
Wow.
But then some cities are like, yeah, like we're gonna need it because it first of all, tax dollars, right? All
Hmm.
that money that's flowing into the to that city.
Yeah.
And then obviously having more jobs, right? See, I'm trying to be very neutral here, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously I see data centers coming could potentially destroy the environment.
It
And
could.
obviously, like people always say in the comment section and things like that, oh, we're running out of water. Is Austin going to run out of water?
Yeah.
I don't know if you see that
No,
all
I
the time.
have seen that. And honestly, I don't know because it's like, how much water are they using? But at the same time, technically, with science, we never lose water because it just evaporates, it rains back down, it
Exactly.
gets consumed, evaporates, rains back down. Like, I don't know how we're actually consuming that water.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. And I think in my opinion, it's just the herd mentality. Because of the fact that someone else will say, "Oh, we're running out of water." Then all these other people that are not educated in that way of, "Oh, this is how it works, this is how it doesn't work," are just following that mentality just to kind of follow that mentality. And then
Exactly.
it kind of creates that whole ripple
It's
effect
like a
and then
trend.
it's
It's
a
like a
trend.
trend to hate data centers.
It is literally like I post so much about data centers a lot often, and a lot of the times it's all hate
Yeah,
because people just don't like it. Whenever I say, oh, they're planning to stop a data center, you
they
just
love it.
see everyone loving data centers.
Yeah,
But you have to think about it in an AI perspective. If you don't have data centers, then how are you going to handle all the computational power and all
you
that?
can't.
You can't as it's growing, right? As AI is evolving, as AI is advancing.
Yeah,
I think that's the way. So, two questions.
yeah,
So one of my questions for you is, I know we were kind of talking about Tesla earlier.
yeah.
What are your thoughts about like the Optimus robots and things like that? Do you think that
Ooh.
Optimus robots are going to be kind of like our go-to figure? Because I talked with Austin yesterday, and he mentioned that he's like, I'm gonna buy it right away once I get it.
Yeah, I think that the Optimus robots, they're going to be a huge part of the economy. I mean, I think for like both the consumer side and on the commercial side, like there's no reason a human should sit on an assembly line when it could be an Optimus robot.
Yeah,
There's no reason a human should flip a burger at McDonald's when it could be an Optimus robot.
yeah,
So I think whenever these things become mass produced, it gets really dangerous for the economy
yeah.
because all these people who are working the manual jobs and think like,
Yes.
oh, I'm blue collar worker, my job's safe, AI's not coming for me.
Yeah.
When these robots roll out, it's like, well, how safe are you, bro? So
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's going to be, I think they're great, I think they're going to be very useful. Me as an entrepreneur, me thinking about the workforce, I think it's going to be detrimental to the economy.
It's gonna be detrimental because right now, I mean, you're working with all these service-based businesses.
Yeah,
Service-based businesses are really happy right now because of the fact that AI can't really take over that manual thing. But whenever
of
that
course.
manual, like these robots come in and they're the, plumber, they're the construction worker, then
It gets dangerous then because it's like, where do these people go to work? And that's where we revisit that
that whole
universal
loop.
base income. It's like, I mean, when AI comes out, it's kind of like everyone's job is going to be at risk. Like some entrepreneurs, even their jobs are going to be at risk. So it's like it's such an unknown. And what's really scary about it is the timeline is unknown. Like they could release this new AI bot next week, or it could be in the next 10 years. Like even like window cleaning. A lot of my clients are window cleaners. They release like a drone that can go fly up and clean all the windows of all like the big
In half the
skyscrapers.
time, probably.
Exactly, using half the time and using one drone operator rather than, 10 people all out there on scaffolding trying to clean the windows by hand. So, I mean, it's getting interesting for sure.
That's why I want to highlight it to you guys. Is like this is something to think about because a lot of people are not thinking about this kind of stuff. But it's like like we're headed towards kind of unknown territory
Of
where
course.
it could be dangerous, and it could be pretty cool, but we just don't know what what direction that we're going to be heading
It's
towards.
uncharted waters. I
Yeah,
mean, it's uncharted waters, so we just kind of
exactly.
gotta hope for the best, I guess. Hope that the people up there who are developing the AI and who are funding all this stuff have our best interests in heart. And
Not just profits.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so the last question that I'm gonna ask you is something that I ask every single guest is like,
yeah.
what is like the biggest piece of advice that you've received from someone? I know you're younger in your career right now, but still like the biggest piece of advice that you like to tell to our audience that they can get inspired based off of that.
Yeah, so I'll take this from Alex Hermosi, and he says, do so much volume that it would be unreasonable for you to fail.
Volume negates luck.
Exactly, yeah. If you do so much volume to the point where it would genuinely be unreasonable to fail, then there's no way you don't succeed. So if you just put in the hours, you put in the work, you make the calls, you do the thing enough, then eventually you'll succeed.
Cool.
That would be my message that I would leave.
No, I think what Alex has done and all yeah, I follow Alex Mosey a lot,
Yeah,
so and that's one of my favorite quotes by him. So
of
yeah,
course.
sounds good. Yeah, thanks for the podcast.
Of course. Thank you for
Cool,
inviting me.
cool. Yeah, what did you think?
Oh, that was great, honestly. It was my
Yeah.
first podcast. It was
Oh, this is
awesome.
your first podcast?
Yeah, how did
Yeah.
I do?
No, you did
Honest,
great.
honest.
No, honest. Yeah,
Okay.
you answered all those questions like absolutely like on point. Like
It's so funny because ever since we scheduled this, I probably listened to like 5 podcasts trying to like learn how to answer
oh
questions
yeah,
and
no, no,
stuff,
no,
dude.
no, no, no. You were good. You were good. Like even like I was like thinking like, oh, you know what, this angle, this because you're younger, right?
Yeah,
So what happens with more of the younger audiences, like compared to Austin Netzley and all these guys have more experiences, right, to share. So for
yeah,
me, I'm like trying to angle it in a way where it's like more of like a younger kind of thing because you don't
of
have
course.
all that experience yet, right?
No.
So asking you these questions from like a younger perspective, I think is it's really cool
Yeah.
because you're the youngest podcast guest I've had so far.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
So
It's an
yeah.
honor.
No, I think this will turn out really good.
Awesome.
Let me stop this real quick.
Gosh, how long was that? I don't even know. Got lost in the conversation. Oh wow, it was almost at an hour.